Ha! Gotcha, punk! Ah! The video game Doom was a turning point in video game history because it was one of the first to include major violence from a first-person perspective, which was a gateway to other, more graphic games, all of which led to an increase in aggressive behavior in their players. Some of the most controversial video games may seem archaic by today's standards. Despite the 32-bit display and enemies that may seem comical in today's standards, Doom is possibly the most controversial video game in video game history. Doom was not only significant because of its controversiality, but it was also one of the first first-person perspective shooters, which was a gateway to games such as Call of Duty, an even more controversial game, Grand Theft Auto. Why was Doom, and not Pac-Man, the possibly most controversial video game of all time? This may seem like a bad question, but what is the difference between Doom and Pac-Man, or all the games like them? Doom was not the first shooter game. The biggest thing that made Doom a turning point in video game history was the first-person perspective and the sophistication of the weapons it used, along with the realistic walking ability. This made Doom the most realistic shooter at that point. The event that made Doom famous was the Columbine High School Massacre. On April 20th, 1999, two boys, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, murdered 12 students and injured 21 others. While bullying was a factor, Doom was also to blame. The night before, they allegedly had played Doom for hours, and had been known as avid Doom players. This event was one of the things that brought Doom major attention. Its creator, ID Software, had released another game very similar to Doom, Wolfenstein 3D. It was banned in Germany and caused such a controversy because of its depiction of Nazi symbols and the including of Adolf Hitler. But what did Doom lead to? What made it a turning point in violent video game history? Well, Grand Theft Auto 1 was released in 1997, 4 years after Doom, and created a major controversy over its violent images and actions that the player was able to perform. From stealing cars to murdering prostitutes, Grand Theft Auto let the player do practically whatever he or she wanted. GTA 3 was another installation in the GTA series, and traces its roots back to GTA 1. GTA 1 has graphics similar to those of Doom. While made from different companies, the free-roaming world and shooting of people and other violent actions are similar. A game series that many gamers today know as the Call of Duty series. Call of Duty, or COD, is considered one of the most realistic first-person shooter games today. The first COD game was released in 2003, where the player is dropped into the middle of World War II. However, the most controversial COD game was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the sixth installment of the Call of Duty series. What made Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 so controversial? Its level, no Russian. The player is undercover as a Russian terrorist and is sent into a Russian airport, where his allies begin firing into a large crowd of civilians. This is what made such a large controversy, but the level does have the option to be skipped, with no penalty to the player. Doom was one of the first games that featured the first-person shooter perspective and the violence that is known in video games today. This violence did leave an impact on the players. Increased signs of aggression are products of violent video games. According to a study, player subjects exhibited aggression and identified with it after playing the game Doom, whereas subjects who had played the game Mahjong generally lacked these signs of aggression. According to another study, 73% of video games promote violence as a way to resolve a problem. This helps to show that many of the video games that exist today promote violence and have, and will, lead to an increase in aggression in those that play them. Violent video games will not cause you to become evil or go and kill people out of rage. But what we have learned is that violent video games do cause an increase in aggression, and these violent video games can be traced back to Doom, the game that started it all, and sent us on a path towards increased aggression and a whole new level of gameplay.